I just got an email titled employment opportunity from somebody calling themselves Mr. Manager. What's the most hilariously transparent scam you've ever encountered? I was once emailed that someone had a hit put on me and the only way to get the hit off was to pay the individual double. I responded telling him to bring it on. He emailed me back saying it was the final warning. That was 4 years ago. I'm still waiting on you, mystery hitman. Maybe he's playing a very long game. Smother you with a pillow as you sleep in your retirement home. Just got this from my spam folder. Hi honey, my name is Chelsea. I'm a business lady. Unfortunately, I spend most of my time working and have absolutely no time for my private life. My colleagues at a coffee break gave me the site where I can find a person with whom I can date without any obligations. I found your profile on Facebook and I consider you very attractive. I just need a nice guy to spend a few hot weekends with. Any offers are welcomed and money is not an object. I don't have Facebook. My mom met a guy on a dating site and within a couple days, he started telling my mom how rich he was, and how many luxury cars he had, and how he had a mansion, and that he wanted to take her on a tour of the world and give her everything she ever wanted. And then he told her that his daughter was in a dancing competition in Germany and broke her leg, and because he was in another country on a job, he couldn't wire her the money for her medical bills and they wouldn't send her home until he did. So all my mom had to do was send a few $1,000s to the address he specified, and then once he was back in the country, he would pay my mom back 3 times over and then get married to her and she would live happily ever after. My mom believed him. She practically disowned all her family and friends for this obvious scammer. We had to have an intervention with her and explain to her exactly what this guy was doing. Luckily, she couldn't afford to send him $10, much less thousands, so she never fell to the actual scam. Of course, once she told him that she couldn't send him the money, his dating site profile was deleted, his email was deleted, his Facebook was deleted and his phone number was disconnected. Bastard probably deleted his daughter, too. Here's one for you. Several years ago, I was desperate to find a job. This resulted in me applying to every listed position on every job search site for which I was even remotely qualified. The most prompt response I received was from a business that was allegedly in the computer peripherals market. My job, according to the typo-riddled description that arrived in my email, would be to process payments from big-name clients, like some sort of unaccountable accountant. As I read through the rest of the letter, the alarm bells in my head didn't even bother to ring. They just laughed hysterically at the sheer audacity and stupidity of the attempted scammer. Here's why. First of all, I was expected to receive checks from these clients, deposit them to my personal account, and then purchase a money order for 80% of the original amount and wire it to somewhere or other. The 20% I deducted was to be my commission for each check I processed. This, for people who aren't familiar with it, is a classic money order or wire con. It's laughably obvious. On its own, this would have been more than enough to highlight the scam. But it didn't stop there. In addition to my commissions, I would supposedly be paid a substantial salary. However, in order to claim it, I would have to provide all of my personal information, up to and including the PIN for my ATM card. This, according to the given explanation, was to prevent fraud. It gets better. The last few lines of the job offer included a very specific request, which had apparently been added as an afterthought. I say this because it was in a different font and different format, and was even more rife with grammatical errors than the rest of the letter. It stated that if, and only if, I was a female, one of the requirements for employment was that I send 2 photographs to the hiring manager, 1 full body shot of myself clothed, and 1 full body shot of myself completely naked. This would be used to verify my identity, and would not be shared with anyone else in the business world or media. I'm paraphrasing, but that was the general idea. Anyway, I wish that scammer all the best, and I hope he enjoyed those photographs of Rosie O'Donnell with a beard. I keep getting employment emails that begin "Hello beloved." Something in me always wants to respond, "Well hi there sugar muffin." Do it. An older gentleman I know has been sending money to his wife from Europe he met online. He has never met her in real life, and he keeps sending her money so she can travel across seas to see him. Every time she gets close, something happens so that he needs to send more money. For example, She managed to lose her MacBook Pro and her new iPhone not once, but twice. He wired her the money for new ones. She also booked a flight, but for some odd reason the airport was on a lockdown and she needed an extra few thousand to get on the plane. Before she got onto her flight she happened to get sick, requiring tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills. This is a true story. He has a picture of some beautiful young blonde on his bedside. He is a 70-year-old man weighing 450 plus lbs. She calls him on the phone from time to time, and he keeps sending her money. His family has tried to help, but he is convinced that she exists and wants to come to the States to have sex and start a life with him. That's the most depressing thing I've read all day. Once got penis enlargement spam that said it was from mom. Because yeah, that's exactly whose opinion I'd want on that topic. Mother knows best. You mean Milton P., Manager 3, founder of Manager Industries? They just expanded and are looking for game testers. Basically you play Skyrim for $150k a year. Are you telling me you turned this guy down? Oh crap, I better send him my resume and social security number as a sign of good faith. My favorite is when I supposedly won a Sony laptop. They tried to make it look like the email was from a supermarket, but at the end of the statement they put very lucky. Totally legit. Several along the lines of, congratulations, your contest entry has won for this month, followed by a link that is usually a random string of numbers and letters. What is this contest you speak of, and how did I enter it and not remember entering anything? Spooky. I won a contest like that once. Apparently I won a mansion in it. Believe it or not, it turned out to be legit. Only problem was, it was haunted. No wonder someone wanted to get rid of it. I got one once from a guy claiming to be Captain so and so from the Marines. The subject heading was help me. Basically he wanted to wire me a few $1 million to keep safe for him because he was in Iraq. It made absolutely no sense. Should have told him to forget the wire transfer. You are only interested in the gold bullion from Saddam. I got one once from someone claiming to be a rich old lady. She insisted that I could trust her even though hooligans, cats, and ne'er-do-wells sometimes try to steal your personal information over email. The whole thing read like the sender Google stereotypical things old ladies might say before they wrote it, which they probably did. Also, anytime the sender doesn't capitalize I, even though they apparently are CEO of the Bank of England. Bit of a giveaway. I am the CEO of the Bank of England and I can confirm this. Hello, my name is Price Untumbu of Nigeria. My father recently died and has left me with $400 million US dollars. I cannot access this money directly and need a third-party bank account to deposit into. If you let me use yours you shall be given $40 million US dollars. If you agree please send me your bank details. Prince Untumbu of Nigeria. I had my horse up for a free lease and got an email from someone in Nigeria saying they would like to pay $1 million for insert title of my horse's ad here because he was such a majestic creature, followed by the usual give me your banking info through a third party etc. These scams are actually worded so ridiculously, so ludicrously that, and I use this word loosely, intelligent people such as ourselves immediately disregard this message as it is clearly a scam. If they were to make these messages more coherent and dare I say plausible, people such as you or I might question whether or not the situation was real. Fast forward a bit, and we've contacted our distant cousin or this mysterious benefactor. They now need to put in time and effort in order to continue to con us. However, as the con goes on, we are more and more likely to realize that it is in fact a con. Once this occurs, we cut off communication, or begin to troll, thus wasting the con man's time. However, if a person who reads this poorly written message and thinks oh my lord, it's my lucky day, MA, come in here and look at what Mr. Manager sent me. I told you I wouldn't always be living in your basement and response. Chances are that they are more likely to fall victim to the scam, thus allowing the scammer to focus his energies on the more susceptible. So I used to work at Adult Protective Services. We investigate abuse, neglect and exploitation of vulnerable adults. They could be elderly or disabled. We had a case where a woman, who was very low IQ, answered an email from an African prince who said he would marry her and make her his princess if she wired him $1k to buy a plane ticket to come to the States. She would, and then she would go to the airport for him, and he never showed. He said he missed the flight or some other excuse. She really thought this dude was for real and wired thousands to this scammer. She blew her social security checks. The case finally had to be handed over to the attorney general in our state. The scammers were overseas, and she kept willingly sending her money, so I don't think anything got done. It was pretty sad and pathetic. I think she was going to have to get to conservator. Hi, do you still have item for sale? What is the best price? Hi, do you have? Paste title here. For sale still, or any of those I get when I try to sell on Craigslist. There was one site when I was looking for a room to rent, and every day I got scammers emailing me about flats I could only see from the outside. Reddit Gold adds shiny extra features to your account that are made possible thanks to support from people like you. Couldn't even be asked to use capital R. I get regular emails from Lloyds TSB Bank, for those not in the UK, asking me to confirm my bank details. I bank with Santander. Yeah, I had a similar experience. Hi, we're a bank you've never done business with. Send us all of your personal information for no given reason. Please, sounds legit. My uncle from South Africa left me $23 million, but they will need 5,000 to transfer the funds, and they need my bank account number. I don't have family in Africa. Nigerian scammers tend to use famous names from history for their emails. If you get an email from George Washington or Charles Darwin inquiring about that iPad you have listed on Craigslist, don't bother replying. Surely Charles Darwin wouldn't lie about his interest in my iPad. When I was like 16, I spent a good amount of time traveling from to NY, so we're in Manhattan, and I'm walking down Canal Street, and I see this little shop. Shop window says, "We make ID cards." I wanted an ID that said I was 18 so I could buy my own cigarettes, not even to buy liquor, just cigarettes. I go in, they show me this huge cardboard display with all these different ID cards. I ask her how much, she says $60. Takes half an hour. I didn't want to drop the $60, even though it looked awesome. So I leave, and wind up somewhere in that same area a couple blocks off Canal Street. Black guy asks for a cigarette. Well, he didn't really ask. He said, "Let me get one them cigarettes." I gave him one, and just straight up ask him if he knows where I can get a fake ID. He says, "Sure, $20, follow me." I'm already lost. I don't even know how to get to where we parked our car. So we walk for a couple minutes, and he says, "You got that 20 on you?" I say yes. He says, "Good. Look, I'm gonna need you to get 2 more $20 bills, so I can compare them to the first one and make sure they are real." I say, "Yeah, sure bro, let me go hit the ATM," and I was gone. Went back to the Chinese place, paid the 60, was out in under 20 minutes, and then subsequently had that ID taken by the ATF. I have chosen your email randomly. I am an exceptionally wealthy oil tycoon who is dying. I want your bank account details so I can put $1 billion into, and you will donate to charities, and for your services you can keep $2 million for yourself. I wrote back expressing my concern and empathy that he was dying, and that seeing as he has not much time on this earth, we wouldn't want to be waiting around for the bank to process $1 billion from I then wished him well and stated I hope to hear from him soon. He never did reply, so I can only conclude rich oil tycoon fellow died tragically, alas, before his money could be donated to good causes. A scam email offering something to make my penis grow from 1 inch to 3 inches. I guess I am not in the target group for this one. It came up organically. My brother is the HR manager for his company. He got an email saying the HR department needs to update your social security information from HR at his company. His company only has 5 employees. He is the HR department. When I worked for my parents, I got an email claiming that my boss needed to know my social security number for paperwork. I shouted for my mom, as I had yet to memorize it. I was 15, and made sure she knew my SSN. She did. I informed her of the situation and we had a hearty laugh about the situation. Maybe not hilariously transparent, but still scam. My dad has a little hostel and encounters a lot of spammers. One of their best tricks works with a fake religious organization. They ask for 1 or 2 rooms and just ask about the prices. After agreeing on a price, they directly deposit the money in your bank account. Until this point everything seems fine. Unfortunately, they accidentally deposited too much money in your account, but that's no problem either. Now the fishy part happens. They either ask you to use the leftover money to pay someone in cash. For example, a bus driver, organizer, some important person who is managing their stay, or send it back via Western Union or something. My dad never fell for it, but it was pretty close when it happened the first time. I once got an email, when I was 15, stating that my father had lost his passport during his recent vacation to Ireland and needed me to send him $4,500 to help him get a new one. I shouted downstairs and confirmed that my dad was in the living room, as he had been for the past few hours after waking up, in America, where he has been for about the past 20-ish years I think. I actually fell for this one. I got an email from Wells Fargo stating that my account was compromised. Their email looked so legit with the right colors and links. For a moment, I fell for it. I started to fill out my information until I realized that no one should ever ask me for my PIN unless they were scamming me. That's when I realized that I had fricked up. I removed my information and closed it. The real Wells Fargo informed me that even though I didn't click submit, that they could still receive what I typed in. WF helped me with cancelling my cards, changing my PIN, and changing my online banking info. Normally, I'm really good at spotting scams, but this one was very well done. It played my emotions really well. They said my information may have been compromised, and I swear that their email looked so legit along with the site I was linked to. Once I was linked to that site, I noticed the URL was strange, because it didn't say wellsfargo.com blah blah blah. So, slowly my brain put everything together and realized that I fell for what I warned a lot of elder people on the internet of. The most common phone solicitation I get is from some loan company asking if I'm considering going back to school in 6 months. Since I'm about to finish my masters, I usually reply yes. So much so that I'm already in school. Thanks for checking in. They usually don't call back. I got an email from my dad's girlfriend. Someone had hacked her account. She wrote that she was stuck in London. We live in the US and was robbed of her cards and passport and needed me to wire her several $100s. She travels a shitload, so it might have convinced her other friends. Unfortunately for this guy, I happened to have seen her 2 hours before. So I googled local banks in the area and sent him a convincing message telling him to go to X bank and wait for the money there. About 2 hours later he emails me telling me the money never got there. I responded saying, "What? Oh, no. I'll go to the bank right now and do it again. Go to X bank, it'll definitely be there that time." I go about my business for another few hours and the guy sends me one last email saying he still hadn't received the money. I then tell him to scam us up. He blows up sending me about 10 emails telling me how much of an butthole I am. His grammar growing increasingly bad, telling me I wasted his time and I'm a huge dong. Yep, I'm the dong. Took my dad's girlfriend about 4 hours on the phone to get her email back. I have an e-commerce website and I get the worst of them. Here's an example of when someone sent me an email with a reply to someone else they were trying to scam. The names were a bit off but it was very similar. From Tom Hanks, Percus Ingredient Stores, at hotmail.com, good day sir madam my name is John and I would like to purchase 5 of your most expensive product. How soon can you ship them to MW now? Please include first day shipping costs as well. Regards, John H. This part is a reply to someone else that they forgot to erase. Yes, I require 15. Something I don't sell. Please respond ASAP as we need this product. Regards, Tom Hanks. This isn't a direct copy paste, but the reply being included stuck in my memory. I once got an email supposedly from a dying lady with an English sounding surname. She said that God spoke to her and told to give her some millions of dollars estate to someone random that she doesn't know. That is, me. Because her children wanted to steal it all and squander it. She left me her email, which ended with at blablaph.ph for the Philippines, and the email address of her lawyer, who also had an English sounding surname. but the address was registered with a site in Istanbul. There was also that time I got a job offer in Nigeria. Seriously? Why would anybody in the US go to Nigeria for a random, unsolicited promise of work? It changed my entire view on these spam messages when someone pointed out to me that they are transparent on purpose, so that it weeds out the less gullible responders. The more ridiculous the email, the less time wasted on people who will bail when they get further down the chain. By making them so only really stupid people will respond guarantees that 100% of the people who respond are stupid people and therefore more likely to get scammed. I got an email about a relative who had died and left a considerable amount of money. Apparently I was the last living relative of my great aunt Mrs. Your last name? Nope, nothing suspicious there. Also seen the did you know that your bank account could be hacked by someone online? Find out now. Enter your bank account information here and we'll tell you for free. Oh my gosh, how nice of them, doing it for free like that. There really are some nice people in the world. RuneScape 2005, player 2313. Hello, internet friends. I am Ajmod and I am offering you free membership and modship. Just tell me your name and pass. I fell for it. I kid you not, this is genuinely what it said. IQ equals would 3 yes believe exclamation point 0 I6 just 7 madat $48 Zusinga googled Sthigrilil sent 4 medal check todake morning hehehe. That's 9 the yes multamount but first just work head 2 or has jand 5 then or stopped. Nidunatok now t google fwol diarrhea and pme wfes moni d. Who says it's natra session time pim making $5 sitting you ho me now 5 lol. It's 9 so 1 also my ILs can take a look here. Some site I erased in the screen cap. Yesterday I got an email telling me my account access had been limited. Pretty stock standard BS. What really got me was the sender's email address. I mean, they're never particularly enlightened. bitadumbar_spammer@com is a whole new level. Back when I was just a wee lass in high school I was desperate for a job. I found one on KSL, local kinda Craigslist deal thing, about nannying house cleaning. I thought to myself sweet, seems easy enough. The guy promised to pay $400 per week, which was under the table, but then he let on to the I'll give you a check and you can give me your account number so I can deposit it to your account for my groceries and cleaning supplies and diapers for my kids and you can keep the remainder. B. That crap is way more than $400 a month. And why the heck would I give anyone my account number? I proceeded to tell him that, all via email, and he told me I should expect a lot of money cause he was a bigwig with the EPA. He claimed to be like a VP or something. Of course I google his name crossed with EPA employee and what comes up? Not a dang thing about him. So I remove the EPA part and find a news article about him scamming young workers a few towns over. TL. DR. EPA butthole tries to scam me out of my bank account. I got an email from a guy in Iraq wanting me to transfer money for him. I was drunk when I received the email and woke up the next morning and saw that I replied frick of tit wagon. Sadly I offended him and he never emailed me back. I really missed out on some money. Got a scam email yesterday from a.dumbars.spammer@talkbiz.isava.net claiming to be from Western Union. Not sure if they were meant to mask it and forgot. I just got one the other day from the CEO of Google Inc. for 850,000 euros if I send back my name, address, phone number, occupation, age, gender. Totally illegitimate. I'm not even British either. Britain doesn't use euros. The reason they do this is because it works. Mr. Manager emails a few million people, and if a small handful of them respond, they are pre-selected for gullibility. Got a text a while back saying that I could take a survey and win a free iPad iPhone. Thought seems legit and went onto their website. A pop-up on the site said I was the 1 millionth visitor and that I could win a free iPad iPhone. My grandmother for months was getting these calls, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, claiming that she won millions of dollars from Publishers Clearinghouse. All she had to do was go to the Walmart and wire $200 to such and such account to pay for the shipping fees. It was weird, we were getting calls from all sorts of people, different accents and all of that. I would keep the guy on the phone for like an hour just because it was kind of funny. The one time the guy lost it on me. You freaking B. Get your freaking butt down there and send me my money act. To which I replied, hey jackass, this is Canada. We don't have to pay money to win a prize. And next time you try to scam someone, don't start calling them names, it sort of blows your cover. We would also get calls and the guy would say that all those other people are scammers but not me. I'm the real deal. The one guy even told me we are 45 minutes away. We will be there in 45 minutes. Right. Needless to say, my grandma never had to pay the money, and it's a good thing I was there, otherwise she would have been all over that. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.